Okay, hey Diana, long time no see. Hi Connie. I'm glad you guys are here. All right. That I have got some fun, exciting things to share. We're going to make a card today, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Kitchen Table Stamper Paper and Ink Card class. I'm really excited to offer a brand new class offering. It's a simple card class. It's for my local Chicago area stampers. All adult crafters are welcome. And this is our next paper and ink card class right here. Look at that. This is the card we're going to go through today live. I think it's my favorite one. I should have saved the best for last, I think. But everybody's got a different favorite. Which one's your favorite? Go ahead, type it in the box. Let me know which one you like best. This is the one we're going to work on today. These are the 4 cards for the paper and ink class. My first paper and ink class is November 16th here in my Chicago area home studio. Ah, you like this one too, Darlene, huh? Shiny, I like that. This one's got a little bling too. Look at that. Just a little bling. Nice, easy cards. The idea of the paper and ink class is to make some simple cards that any skill level can accomplish and feel like they're just really took over the world. That's the idea. They're tool focused, they're not heavy on embellishments, and they really are kind of quick to put together. Class is November 16th in my Chicago area home studio. I'm going to be going through the cards on the, oh, Ashley likes the mittens, huh? I'll go through all the cards on either Facebook Live or video on my blog. There will be project sheets for anybody who's not local and can't make it. But the idea is to really reach out into a new stamper-friendly market, because I have a lot of people who show interest but don't think that they can do it. So we're going to do these kind of fun, simple. You don't need a whole lot of products to get started. They're kind of tool-focused embossing folders and some heat embossing. Do you guys remember when you were brand new stampers and somebody did the heat embossing and you saw the powder melt and go from powder in a jar to shiny, raised amazingness, and your teeth fell out of your mouth? Like, that's the kind of wonder and joy I'm trying to bring to some new stampers. So it's a friendly class for my seasoned stampers to bring their friends. Everybody says, I don't know anybody who crafts. Well, that's because we have to make new crafters. So it's an easy class to share. Class is $15 or it's free with a qualifying order. It's just easy and fun. Yeah, isn't the white embossing beautiful, Darlene? All right, so I see a lot of eyes in here. It looks like some people are watching, so we'll get crafting. The other thing with the paper and ink class is that I'm offering this one for private classes. So if you live in the Chicago area and you'd like to get your friends together for a private class, this is my class. I'm offering this class anytime through the end of the year. Just call me up. We'll schedule a date for you and your friends to make these. Same arrangement. The cards are $15 for your friends or free if they make a minimum qualifying order. And the best part is if they make minimum qualifying orders, you would be the hostess. And this month, for the rest of this month, there is a hostess special. The Mary Patterns stamp set is available to hosts who have a $300 qualifying party. So if you'd like to give it a try and the paper and ink cards are interesting to you and you'd like to schedule a date, give me an email or a text and we'll figure it out. And the paper and ink class is either in my home or private if you'd like to schedule one. Host set Mary Patterns is exclusive only to qualifying hosts. And here's a fun one that we did this week in Coffee and a Card that used this Mary Patterns holiday set to make a beautiful birthday card. All right, so that's enough about paper and ink class. Let's get started making this fun and festive Merry Christmas card. All right, the Stampin' Up! Products that I used for this card, let's clear these other beauties out of the way. Leave that one in there so you can see. Features the Labels to Love stamp set. I love this stamp set. It's got 2 greetings for Christmas. It's got Celebrate a Wonderful Year, which can be a birthday card or a New Year greeting. The Trick or Treat, Have a Haunting Halloween, Give Thanks, Love, and Ho Ho Ho. So it's got 3 Christmas, Valentine's, New Year's or birthday, and your fall holidays, Halloween and Thanksgiving. Love this set, and it coordinates with Everyday Labels Punch. Hey, look, you can see me looking through the phone. You guys see that? Ooh, I'm giving away all my secrets. Oh, gosh. All right, to accent this card, I used the Hang Your Stocking stamp set. I love this holly. I use this all the time. And then, am I predictable or what? My handy dandy swirly bird spatter. Like, you can't get this stamp out of my hand. Love that thing. So those are my stamps and punches. Inks for this, Garden Green, Real Red, and Pool Party. And let's see, what else do we need? I've got a bone folder and some snail and dimensionals. And then these fun little ditties. These are the metallic enamel shapes, and they come 2 sheets of gold, 2 sheets of silver in a pack. And we're using stars on the sample, so I'm going to use circles on this one, but you get circles in a couple of different sizes, hearts and stars. You get gold and silver in this pack. It's a great little embellishment pack. I'll keep the gold ones out. Let's see about consumable materials. I have a Real Red card base. It's 8.5 by 5.5 and it's scored at 4 1/4. And then I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock that's 4 wide by 5 1/4 tall. Now, I will do a project sheet for this today and get it up on the blog today or tomorrow, so there will be a printable sheet with all the measurements. I've got a scrap of Whisper White. That's to do our label. And so you need kind of a big scrap because you're going to do the label in Real Red and in Garden Green. Okay? And then Designer Series paper. This is from the Christmas Quilt Suite. And we're going to use 1 inch of this one, 5/8 of an inch of this, front and back. And I just took the whole 1/6 inch length, but you're not going to need them to be that long. Our longest piece is about 5 1/4. All right, measurements and supply list, full color photo will all be included on the project sheet. It'll be on the blog today, kitchentablestamper.com. And this video will also get archived there in case you came in late. All right. Let's get started. We'll do our stamping first. I'm just going to slide some of these things out of the way and get my Stampin' Pierce mat. Now the Stampin' Pierce mat is really important when you're using the photopolymer stamps because, hi Auntie Cheryl, you're watching me make a Christmas card. That's so fun. You should do a private class with your friends. This is the paper and ink card class, one of the cards from paper and ink card class. And I just talked about how I'm offering private classes again. Now that Gideon's in school all day long, I've got time to organize these things. All right. My ink pads are Pool Party, Real Red, Garden Green. And I've got my little holly pieces and my spatter. And I don't have a piece of scratch paper here. Let me grab one. I want to protect my Stampin' Pierce mat because we're going to go off the edge of this. Our hollies need to float free across the card. All right, get the sample back in there so you can see what I'm doing as I do it. And here is my Garden Green and my holly. And I'm going to start off the top of the page. You want that to flow freely. Looks more natural if it floats off the top of the page. And then you're going to let them scatter down the card. We're going to go for 5 holly leaves, and we want most of them to show because odd numbers are pleasing to the eye. And there's our holly. Now, there's the berries, and this one's Real Red. And we're going to stamp those little guys in there. And we're going to layer with Pool Party Spatters. And I think it just adds kind of a fun dimension. Brings in that pool party color that's in the paper. I think it looks kind of frosty like snow. What do you guys think? Do you think that's sloppy, or do you think it looks kind of frosty like snow? There they are. All right. Now, while we're stamping, I'm going to get this other piece of Whisper White cardstock and the label from Labels to Love, and we're going to stamp it once in Real Red, and then we're going to clean and stamp it in Garden Green. Now, if you wanted to, you could get a Real Red marker and a Garden Green marker, and you could ink this up with your markers so that your trees were green and your banner was green and your Christmas greeting was Real Red. But I do better cutting than I do trying to marker a stamp, so I use kind of a paper piecing technique, but the choice is really yours. All right, so we're going to clean well and then go to Garden Green. And we'll stamp another one in Garden Green. And we really just need the trees and the banner, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I know, I remember, Aunt Cheryl, you did that once with your friends. We did have a good time. I'm doing it again now. Get your friends together. I'd love to make some Christmas cards with them. They'll leave with 4 cards that they can send and have a good time. I'm cheap entertainment. The paper and ink card class is $15 or free if they place a qualifying Stampin' Up! Order. Now the Everyday Label punch just punches that right out, easy peasy. And then we're going to do a little fussy cutting right here. Right? When you can see through the stamp block and the stamps, especially the polymer ones, it really makes it easy to see where you're going and to get the best results. I'm really enjoying using polymer stamps on the clear blocks. The red rubber ones on clear blocks are even such an improvement over the days of the wooden blocks, because you can at least see through the block and where the edge of the stamp is. They've made some advancements. Hi, Colleen. Is Colleen crafty? Colleen, are you crafty? Want to make some Christmas cards with me? This is the paper and ink, one of the cards from the paper and ink Christmas card class. And we're just putting it together right here on Facebook. Now I'm fussy cutting these little trees out. Just a nice sharp pair of scissors. Let me tell you something. Since you have to watch me on Facebook Live, I can't edit this part out. Let me tell you a little thing about using scissors. Maybe you know this and maybe you don't, but when you hold a pair of scissors for fussy cutting, for detail cutting, you don't hold them with your index finger. You hold them with your ring finger or your middle finger. I use my middle finger, and then I support the scissor with my index finger. And then when you're cutting small details, you put the object into the bite of the scissor very deep. And you'll notice that as I close the scissor with my right hand, I guide the paper with my left hand. All my right hand does is close the scissor. The left hand does all the work. And that's how you get your best detail cutting. So I don't know if you know that. It's one of my best stamping tips. All right, so there's our little trees and our banner. I got some multi-purpose liquid glue. Oh, Colleen's not too crafty, huh? That's all right. You can still make Christmas cards. I can teach you. And then I'm just dabbing the tiniest bit of multi-purpose liquid glue on the back of my trees. And I'll drop the green ones in on top of the ones that were stamped in real red. And we'll do the same thing with the banner. Hi, Jackie! You are not watching me in the grocery store. That's hysterical. I'm glad you're here. Thank you, Tony. It is very small. That's why I said you could always ink up this stamp with a garden green marker and a real red marker and get that multicolor look. You just use the marker on the rubber. Get the green in there first on the trees and the, let me show you, hold the stamp. I don't have my markers here, but you'd take the green marker and ink the trees and the banner, and then you'd huff on it so that your moist breath would keep the green ink wet, and then you'd ink the rest of the stamp with red and then stamp it. You'd get the same multicolor effect. But I'm not really fast, so this works better for me. Oh, see you later. You can catch me on the replay, Aunt Cheryl. All right, so now we've got our background all stamped and we've got our label stamped and punched. This is what we're making if you've just joined us. And this is for the paper and ink card class on November 16th in my Chicago area home studio. Everybody's welcome. These are the other cards we'll be making for the paper and ink class. And class is $15 or absolutely free with a qualifying order from Stampin' Up through me. Okay, now assembling. Let's get the ink pads out of the way before I drop something in it or put my sleeve in it. All right, and let's get the Stampin' Pierce mat out of the way. We don't need that one anymore. All right, so we're nearly done here. I've got my real red card base and I have a bone folder. A bone folder is an important tool in paper crafting because when you're crafting and sending a card, you want a nice crisp fold. You want a fold that's even and a card that stays closed and flat but also stands nicely for display. So the bone folder gives you that very crisp, sharp fold. Now we've got our stamped background panel, but before we add adhesive to it, let's get our little banners in because mine are a little bit longer than they need to be. I've got a pair of paper snips here. They're really sharp. They're the best scissors I've owned in probably forever. And we're just cutting up at an angle from the corners. And my advice for this is just own it. A lot of people are concerned, oh, I can't get it even. Take a deep breath and cut. It'll turn out better if you don't think about it too much. There's also a banner triple punch that can cut that dovetail for you if you're concerned about them being crooked. All right, so my snail adhesive is here. Let's get this little guy. And we're gonna do a strip of it on the back of these banners, the narrow ones first, because this wider one is going to overlap. So we'll position our banners. We want to see our holly kind of peeking out from behind the banner. I think that's pretty good. We want the red one to hang a little bit lower. That's pretty good. Now you can kind of see my cut edge there, so I'm going to just gently smooth over it with the bone folder. All right, and then a little more snail adhesive on our multicolor, the wider banner. Pop that right over the other two. And now we can trim off the excess. I turn over and trim off the excess because then you get a nice straight cut on the front. And more snail adhesive will get this on the card base. We're just going to center that, top to bottom, right to left. Let's smooth it down. Now for a little bit of embellishment, just a touch. We've got some gold thread. It's really, really thin metallic stuff. I see some hearts floating. Thank you. And I'm going to take about an arm's length off of here, maybe a little less. And then my dimensional adhesive. So this is a foam tape that's going to make that label pop off the page a little bit. Give your card some excitement. We're going to put 4 of those on the back of here because we want it to be well supported. I keep seeing little hearts float by. You guys are so sweet. Thank you. All right, so let me expose my adhesive here. And then I'll show you what we're going to do with that thread. So if you look at this one, you can see, do you see all that glimmery little thread coming out from behind the labels? We're going to add a little glitz. So I'll take this thread and I've got about half of it on either side of my label. Now see, it's here and it's off the top. And then what I'm going to do is just make a loop. I think the camera is picking up that thread. I see it. I'm looking through the phone. So, and we're going to adhere the thread to the dimensional. Then we're going to make another loop, and we're just going to keep sticking the thread to the dimensionals. And you see they're off to the left, up and down. Some of them are smaller, some of them are bigger. And then we're going to do the same thing on the bottom. And what we want to avoid is going all the way around it. We're not trying to make it look like a daisy. We want them to be some longer, some shorter, and we want them to go kind of off the top left corner and off the bottom right. And then when you've got that the way you like it, you can cut off any excess if you need to, and I don't really have any. It looks pretty good. And then we'll adhere that to the card. Now I want to adhere it where I'm still going to see some of my holly there. I think I like that. I covered one up almost completely, but still looks cute. All right. Oh, Ashley, thank you. I love Pool Party with red and green to kind of jazz up Christmas, more, you know, break the tradition a little bit. And I like to add a little Blushing Bride sometimes too, get a little pink in the mix. All right, so I've got these metallic enamel shapes, and I've used little gold stars on this one. On this sample, I'm going to use little gold circles. Just add a little bit of bling there. And there it is, we did it. That's our Merry Christmas Labels to Love card. And this is for you to make in my paper and ink class. Now, if anybody would like a private paper and ink card class with your friends, just email me, Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. And we can set up a time where I will bring one of each of these cards for you and your friends to make. Or if you live in the Chicagoland area and you want to come to my home studio and make these cards, we're doing these November 16th. All right, does anybody have any questions about the project or about the Merry Patterns promotion? I love this. This is the card that I made that is not Christmas with it, in case you haven't seen that one. We did that at Coffee and a Card on Wednesday. Or anything about Stampin' Up, Kitchen Table Stamper, about this beautiful Christmas card. All right, if you've got no questions, I'm gonna go get some lunch. I'm so glad that you could join me. I hope that you'll reach out if there's anything I can do to help you stay crafty. All right, guys, have a great afternoon. Thanks for watching. I will be here next Friday at noon. Join me for some more crafting. All right, have a great day, you guys. Bye-bye.